There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Following our people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The project is giving us here and the premise of them. The welcome of life without fear.
A lyrical
Master.
Clear police who make on you. I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can ask my jamo. And yes, I know money. And more I know. And you love our money. More I know.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold rather lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money. And I can't play ya to money. And I could buy ya to money. And I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money. And I can't play ya to money. And I could buy ya to money. And I don't get it now ya to money. That's the baby. And I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold rather lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Following our people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise my best. The world with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Sorry, yeah. So again, yeah, sorry, Brother Ali Masale. Thank you, thanks to all of you. So every time when we are here, that means it's 24 hours. I don't know about you, those of you who there are a lot of things that we learned in school. People doing mathematics, people doing science, people do a lot of things. People, but not and then now, even if you go to school, you'll be thinking as to what one of the major things now to talk about, what are the things to even do in school, because sometimes there are some quote unquote, there are some maybe things you want to learn, you want to waste your time behind. By the time you learn these things, sometimes you survive through certificate. You're married, some kind of a diplomat, some kind of what you may call, some kind of trade, that one will even carry you through all the time. But again, it's good to learn. Don't be deterred, it's good to learn. Learn everything. So, people, we here. Yes, we here. Good evening. Let me start here. It's Tuesday, the 25th of November. How many more days? Check. Those of you who doing account, accounting, check. Someone will say, but maybe the calendar has nothing to do with accounting. But it's a sin. He's checking. So let go. So today, the 25th. How many more days to go in November? 5. Yes, 5 more days to go in November. And so 36 days to go, because December had 31 days. So the 31 days plus the 5 days to go. Yeah, you know, he said. Yeah, so the 5 days plus the 31 days to go in December, it's 36 days. Wow, no time. Share the show. The show will be interesting today. I know some of you, those of you who are maybe one way or the other, some of the club teams follower, share the show. Don't be deterred. We get all kinds of reports. Speaker Kofa, former Speaker Kofa now in the news now is the current speaker. Our speaker Rachel Kumu has cautioned journalists that they could be jailed. Some of us wanted to go to jail. I don't know how come they don't want to jail some of us. I won't go to jail. Let me be frank. You know, when you stand for the truth and you notice that the truth is touching those evil ones, then you can be proud to go to jail. I mean, me, I won't go to jail. How come? But I know why you share the show. You will see some of us going to jail with just tap. Then, because it's not easy. You know, it's not easy. Do the right thing become the threat to the power that be. That when you talk, they say you will go to jail. Well, we're waiting to go to jail. You share the show, people. Today is Tuesday. More will soon join us. So many things to talk about. So many. The show will be interesting. Look, moving forward, we'll make the show more than hot. Let me tell some of you. Share the show. We'll make the show more than hot. Because here for us, here we'll come here to advocate for our people. Where are the civil servants who are quiet? They don't want to talk. You know why? Why civil servants are not talking today? Is because they have been threatened. But in fact, the power that be is threatening the civil servants. That when you talk, you will lose your job. So how many civil servants talking today? That's why we keep talking. You don't do power. You don't abuse power. Just because you have the power. So you abuse the power. But anyway, share the show. The show will be interesting. Let me see. Myself, I'm sharing the show. Share the show. We will play some of these videos. We're going to video again. Oh, God. Look. Yeah, man. They could be. Actually, today, I don't want to do anything that has to do with politics. Yeah, but again, we have to do. And what to do? We have to talk about politics. Yeah, the president, people are now comparing who do they. Why not whether share the show, people? Thanks to those of you who sharing the show. I want to play the video, but let me finish sharing the show first. Then we'll play some of the videos that are there. But Mark will soon be here. But I think will be here with us this evening so that we can talk more about the happening of the day. Yeah, the president is out of the country. President Tikum Joseph Yimabuaka out of the country. For matter of fact, he's in Morocco. Yeah, he's in Morocco right now. As we speak, our president, our dynamic, here, Excellency, Tikum Joseph Yimabuaka, one of the, in fact, is he one of the oldest president in Africa? Yes. One of the oldest president in Africa. The man with the wisdom. The man with the experience. Oh, God. Yeah, man, just share the show, people. Just share the show. Yeah. Just share this show. Today the show will be interesting. So the speaker is not threatening people that people will sleep in jail. Who are fall asleep in jail? Me, Mabel. Me, Mabel. This person is here, so maybe you don't even know people like us. Yeah, that's why you're talking about jail. Look, if some of you can say recall about what happened in Burkina during the wartime, where people have to, in fact, they were imprisoning some people in the continue here and there. Some people still survived. People live. People survive from that incident. People that commit no crime, they put them into continue for hours. Some people die into these things. You come out in the kind of a time, be threatening people about sleeping in jail. That way, that's the kind of thing. These are things that some of our brothers that they voted for. So we'll sleep in jail. We wanted to sleep in jail because our brothers and sisters, some of you out there today, you are supporting some of these things. You insult us. Even when we post, you go on our post and insult us just because of the kind of our politicians today. We're sleeping in jail. Me, I'm waiting. Today, even if you want to come in jail today, I'm waiting. In fact, there are months. Yes, I'm willing to go sleep in jail. I don't know for the truth. I'm willing to sleep in jail. Because yesterday, ask yourself, where were you yesterday? You just got opportunity to serve as speaker. Now start threatening people how to sleep in jail. Well, anyway, my brother is here. I'm not lose myself.
What's going on? Hi, Sktv audience from the US. I always specific when it comes to the Sktv audience. They are mostly from the US, from the UK, Australia. I would say Europe. Some of them, few of them from Asia. I got some software I can just look at the link and run the link on this particular analytics software. It can give you like a picture, give you like a description or Instagram. Where the audience are watching from, and the vast majority, I would say up to 75 to 80% from Liberia. So it's our target audience because that's where the vast majority of the audience are. So it's a good thing. But it's another day to be here. Share the show. We got to cover ground for the next 2 hours. Milbom and saying control. I listened to his pre-game analysis in his Chelsea regalia or outfit, and we got a deep history. I'm a Barcelona fan. I used to. People says Monk, but your own analysis is kind of a little bit funny because back in the day when I was growing up in Africa, I got fascinated by Real Madrid. The generation of Raul Gonzalez, Fernando Morientes, Claude Makaleli, that was the time I grew up in Madrid. Wow. But when Ronaldinho came into football, Ronaldinho brought a brand of football we have never seen in recorded history. No player in world football played like Ronaldinho because he brought entertainment in the beautiful game. You know, the game was always about being serious and working hard. Ronaldinho came and made football to look like some kind of artistic craft that you can be smiling, humiliating your friends, scoring goals, and you showing your teeth to the fan, and you playing like you are happy. It's almost like the guy play football like you are a party and dancing to samba. So even women got fascinated by watching football when Ronaldinho came to the game. So I became a fan of Barcelona. But, you know, that's just why it is. So we will see what happens in the next 2 hours. I listened to your pre-game analysis. A lot of things happen in the country as well. And for the audience sake, I just jumped on a holistic health program. Because I believe in, I subscribe to the nation that if our body is made up of minerals and vitamins, then food, our body can heal itself, you know. So, and you must use food to fuel your body. Food is like the fuel for your body. When you eat right, you will be okay. You will avoid the doctors and the hospital. And the health tip for today, even though I'm now a doctor, but like I said, I religiously studying holistic health, and I even subscribe to a program that will give you like a certification, maybe over 9 months. I'm doing this thing. And I learned something very important that could be helpful to our audience, especially for the older folks. Melbourne, you see okra. The okra. Make sure you make okra a regular part of your diet. Okra comes with vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, B6. It supports heart health. It gives you, it got something they call flavonol. It's a particular substance that it's good for your heart, right? It regulates your blood sugar. So people that are struggling with diabetes, okra should be in their diet, maybe 3 times a week. And it boosts your immunity and it reduces bad cholesterol. Okra. Now, that's just one aspect. Another thing when you blend with okra that will give you a lot of health benefit, including men out there, even your beginning will be great as well. If you keep eating it regularly, it gives you energy, you get a mental clarity, you are not crashing during the day, you are not foggy. Green plantain. Green plantain, it regulates your weight. It comes with vitamin C and vitamin BK. It's also good for your health. It comes with something called antioxidant that is very, very good for your body. It helps in replacing damaged cells in your body. When the cells in your body damages, that's how you start going to cancer. that have cancer start forming in your body because health, I mean, the cells in your body are dying over time, and over extended period of time, it starts leading to cancer. So, just a health tip for today for the SKTV audiences: make sure you have green plantain and okra in your diet, and you will be okay. For the high blood pressure, for the blood sugar people, for the older folks, because when you get older now, you're not eating food for taste, it's not for enjoyment, it's all about function. The one that will benefit you the most. That's why you eat. You don't just eat anything out there because it tastes good. No, you are only eating because your body is going to get the benefit and you want to do well. Because even if you say you want to go hustle, how can you hustle when you get a broken body? Sick people don't look for money. You must be well and healthy. So health itself is a form of wealth. I just want to give that tip for today, and maybe going forward, we'll be giving some health tips for our audience on SKTV. Like I said, we are not doctors, but we are reading extensively. We are studying. They will get better. So we'll be spreading these health tips. They can come from Aliu, it can come from Sekou. All the good things will be on SKTV. But let me turn it over to Aliu Masale.
Thank you. Quickly more before we transition to Brother Aliu. Thank you. Actually, you are quite correct. I feel we got to do these things. We not only come here only in the name of, you're talking about the ills in society, and now also telling our people how to live long. Because Mom, what you just stated, look, this at sometime more, let's go back up interior. How can our people up interior, they are not going to be better? But when they're in the city, because we don't even know the kind of food that we eat. Every time we eat the kind of more freezing fruits, we eat the kind of more thing that been made by some kind of more company, say somewhere and job, manipulating and but again, thank you, my dear brother. And I hope and pray that we'll continue with that, at least, even if there are 2-3 minutes of our time, that would be good, at least so that our people, they can understand the issue of health and to know about their own health. And with the issue of sports, you are quite correct 100%, because sports is not only about playing the football and just scoring a goal. Sometimes if you watch some of the games, you will see by the time a player driven 1 or 2 players, or maybe opponent and so forth, you hear the cry, right, Mark? They will start to shout. Good.
That's the reason people go to game. People don't go to sports because they just want to see people playing. They go there to kind of boost their mental energy. Because human beings, let me tell you something. When you do mental phase, they talk about vibrational frequency and energy, right? Even when you go to hospital, they're doing something like an ultrasound, right? Where you can do how they call it, scan your body. Yeah, they are using energy to boost. So when you into socialization, when you are socializing with other people, your mode it changes. You are vibrating at a higher frequency, and when your body vibrates at a higher frequency, it's very hard for you to get sick. You know that when you are always smiling, when you are always laughing, you're younger, you are happy, you don't attract sicknesses. Sicknesses come from when you stress, when you are depressed, when you are down, your body is operating at a lower frequency. So when you see people going to these bars and to these restaurants and they are laughing and they are jumping, it boosts their mental energy as well. That's how they stay healthy. So people don't just go and watch the game, whether it's NBA, whether it's American football, whether it's soccer. Anytime you go into sports and entertainment, it elevates your mood, your body vibrational frequency, and that's good for your health as well. Some of these things happen to people. That how people can commit suicide. They don't have a social life. They work all day, they pay bills, no friend. You got a dog or a cat in your home, you say that's a companion. The moment something hits you in terms of a life crisis, you want to take your own life because what? You are not associating with other people. When you hang around people, you build energy. Somebody here laughing, somebody here cooking, somebody here making noise. Yeah, you might think it's wrong, but trust me, it's also good for your health. And that's why people get into sports and entertainment. That's just why it's all about.
Wonderful, my dear brother. Thank you. Brother Aliu, welcome. What say you? We're part of the happening, the sports, and that of the issue of health.
Good afternoon, Maybon. Good afternoon, Mom. Good afternoon to our listening audience and followers. Glad to be here this afternoon. Yeah, my man, for the sport, we are there. Tonight we're drinking Barcelona, so that one part is clear.
Okay, me, I don't bet before the game. I left for people to do the talking in the field. Good luck to you.
I drink, but I will Chelsea.
Okay.
Yes, and to the health issue, that's the fight, Mom. These are some of the things, but thank God this time, this thing is going everywhere now. Like even in Liberia, you will see people going to gym. Sometimes, I can remember when I was small coming up, my uncle working with United Nations, every Saturday and Sunday morning, he go for work, he go jog, sometimes he even said go practice. And at his age today, but when you see him, he's still looking strong and fit. But those things people never knew. But at least this thing help to make you to live longer. And also when you can just get old like that. All of these things, they are good for the body. Like today we can see people going for work, people going to go job, people going to the gym. All of these things are good for the body, you see. But people never did this thing then. But at least people are getting to know them. Like here, even myself, when I was not sick, every Saturday or Sunday morning, my wife and I, we go for work. We come, we get our machine and thing, we go down the basement, we exercise. And all of these things is good for the body. Yeah. But maybe one spot the whole thing talking about people going BB belly. You know the things or your men and one, they want to see they get no.
No, let me remind you of something. The reason, life comes with stages, right? The reason this thing existed before, but when you are more younger, you don't pay attention to this thing because when you are younger, you believe that you are invincible. Young people don't get sick often, so they believe they can engage in a lot of unhealthy habits and it will impact their life. But when you pass that 35 mark, going to 40 and upward, your health does not improve randomly, right? You got to take specific action that will help to boost your health and make you to live longer. Like most of the time, one of the major causes of death around the whole world is heart disease. And because it had to be detected, you don't detect it easily. So you get blood clot, blood not going to the brain, we call it stroke. When blood's not flowing to the heart, we call it heart attack. And heart attack is the number one killer around the whole world, from Europe to Africa, anywhere. Nothing kills people around the world than heart attack. It can happen like people can say, oh, the man wasn't sick, he went to pay get that. No, he died from heart attack. You just don't know because it doesn't show too many symptoms. That's why he died from. So the whole idea that somebody can just die out of the blue moon, no, it doesn't happen like that. Most of these things, they are undetected, but they are there. They are in the body. And that's what you said. When you are younger, you don't pay attention. And as you get older, your body cannot produce the thing naturally. That's why you see the white people, they believe in a vitamin. You open their cabinet, you see sort of vitamin. Because your body cannot produce certain minerals and vitamin naturally, you got to supplement them. You got to replace them in your body. And one thing people should take into consideration, you see the thing called moringa? Moringa leaf. Maybe instead of you drinking chocolate tea in the morning, make sure you drink moringa. Moringa possesses 98 minerals and vitamins. It's the most mineral dense on the entire planet. Your body. Oh, go ahead. You want to say something?
I say why you say about that moringa is good. It's good. I can eat the food. I like it. It's good.
Maybe.
Yes.
So when you wake up, instead of you looking for Ovaltine and Bonvita, you know what you do? Tell your woman, get a moringa powder, dry it, turn it into powder. In the morning, put in hot water and drink it. That's 98 minerals and vitamins out of the 103 that your body needs. There is no plant on the planet that got more mineral and vitamin than moringa. People should drink moringa tea at least every morning before going to work, especially during the rainy season. It will even be your added bonus. Another tip right there.
Yes. So for me, I don't know whether we have that here in country. I will check. I will ask if that here, then well, that would be good for some of us, I think, because we've been looking for solutions, especially when it comes to the issue of our health, because when we eat all sort of things, and you're right, though. I mean, we are all guilty of what if I just but are you talking about beef belly? Because sometimes, let's be frank, people used to think that beef belly used to come about from beer. But now, even people when I'm drinking beer, they grow beef belly. So for me, I don't even know what the cause, but I think all of these things are correct, and especially when it comes to the issue of mental health, maybe because more quickly before we make transition, there was this information today. I haven't been following too many political happening or situation back home, but this issue, one of the issues that really caught my attention to have to do with a man allegedly killed his wife over phone argument in Tory district. So do you think more? What was the cause of that?
Anxiety. That's it. Mental health issue. We overlook mental health. We don't take care of mental health in Liberia. I must say, when I came to America before, I started understanding how people prioritize mental health, because we think these things are normal in Liberia, but we don't know the root causes. We don't study these things, but they actually happen. Traumatization, economic anxiety, people have no job. The least thing will offend people. Look, people are just walking on a time on the listing. Something that you and I can literally discuss a vast amount of people won't even be able to have a discussion. The man, but let me tell you something. When you have no reason to live, you don't appreciate life, you can take anyone's life. That's why when you put people into poverty, other people is at risk. That's one of the reasons you see people with money, they live in communities that are protected. It's not that they want to be selfish, but they understand life. That when you're in a society where people are angry, where people are mad, where they have economic anxiety and no job, worrying how to pay their children's school fee, mentally they are not sound. So you could be a victim of that. That's why they avoid certain communities they live in, high affluent neighborhoods, because they know they are protected. They're not saying that they are special, but sometimes life is about preserving your own life. You don't want to get into a stupid discussion or argument and someone just come and get in your life for no reason because they are mentally stressed or they are depressed. So that's just what's happening. I told you we give a lot of instances on the show wherein we see these things happening all over the country. Why you think somebody want to beat someone from phone to death? You think it's because of the phone? No, it has nothing to do with the phone. It's all their mindset and the situation they find themselves living. Like I said, when you cannot appreciate life, you will not respect life. They say he who down fears no fall. The man struggling, nothing going for him. The least thing you will do to him, he will harm you, even to the extent of taking your life. So it will keep happening forever in Labra for a very long time until the economic situation can change and people will start making progress. That's just why it is. Nothing
wonderful. More. Solar transition. We're going to take 26 minutes into our time here. Those of you who are joining, please help us share the show. If you haven't done, we want you to share the show. Like and comment. Like Mongo always say, that's the best thing that you can do for us here on this platform. Please like, comment, and share the show for us so that maybe your group chat or the chat room or the group you part of, the people that will follow and understand some of the things that we are saying. But more quickly, we have to transition because I know there are so many things happening.
Oh, yes.
Yes. In fact, you've been talking about so many things, even beginning yesterday with the issue of the bread and butter, because I heard you talking about the salaries, all of these things bow down to the bread and butter issue. But is there any other thing on your mind? Because I want us to talk about this bigger issue before we go into our main topic for today that I have to do with what you sent me today. But is there another thing, maybe two other
which main issue? I mean, just go to the one you got on mind, and then we'll go to the next one later concerning this accelerometer and the $200 million sign of bonus, because we understand that there is a rift in the administration between two influential groups. So we'll get to that. But so if you got anything, then you can just cover it quick, and then we can go to the
wonderful. I just wanted to just chip in with this, our speaker, the region speaker, with this statement coming from you quickly. Let's listen.
For you, this section is not legal to get coro to the press. This section is not legal yet. Any you come for here with you, this section is not legal to get coro. We are not video recording talking. You're carrying when you dry off. We put your machine. This section must be legal. But Koro, they put together record and start talking. No, catch you. Don't believe it. To the press, this section is not legal yet. Any you come for here with you, this section is not legal to get Koro. We are not video recording talking. You're carrying when you dry off. We put your machine. This section must be legal. But Koro, they put together record and start talking. No, catch you. Don't believe it.
Well, no. So there we go with the press. Oh, the country interesting. So, Mark, what say you? That's just the latest today's session. I don't know what they were quorum. I'm not really been following. Yeah,
we are back to quorum again. Maybe are we back to quorum? We are back to
I'm thinking about Mark. I just been on graduation. I bet on so many things. For me to even come across this, look, more, I gave it to the all of them. What? But what say you, Monk? That's the latest.
In the Shakespearean edition of Julius Caesar, the evil of men do the slaves after him. That's how he came to power. And I told you, it gets a matter of time. It was one of my disappointments into the former speaker. I said, the former speaker, all that time you took to go to court, you just could have used your resources and maintain quorum. Quorum is the official license a speaker is giving to conduct a legitimate session in Congress all over the world. Nobody can change that, but they went the opposite route. I understand the fact that he's a speaker, but I know that same rules or application will come back to hurt him. It's just a matter of time. Remember, when you see people destroying themselves, one of the reasons, right, they get something called legal precedent. You might do things that will not be unconstitutional, but they might be considered inappropriate. And when you are in government, when you make wrong decisions against the court precedent, the reason people want to do the right thing because it can come back to haunt you. And the people will say, yes, we told you, you did it to us. Trust me, those lawmakers won't forget. Like I said, it's not a matter of if it will happen to him, it's just a matter of when it will happen to him. Because the way how he ascended to the speakership, if people will use that to come against him, you just be there, just watch and be patient. Just to get the tip of the iceberg. We are back to quorum. I know one day he won't have that number to conduct quorum, and that will be the end of him. So for me, I was in mad. Do it, but it will come after you. And that's just where we are. That's where we are right now.
But Ali, what say you with the latest about quorum, in fact, threatening even the media that anything that you take from oh God, you never go about them.
Can you hear me there? Maybe you hearing me? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we're getting you going.
We said this thing from the earlier stage that the whole time of removing for the Chikofa. If care is not taken, we see episode 2. Maybe this is where we have started going now. If you can see the speaker talking about quorum and talking about jailing people, and as a speaker, you can be talking loosely like that, talking about nonsense, talking about putting people in jail. You have to try to get some control over your language, how you speak out there. But he's sounding like there's something, some frustration in your voice. There's something going on. Like the same road that, like my grandfather used to tell me, when you're in a village, you have the old people, your friend die, and you see they bury he or she on the garbage side, on the dump site. Don't be laughing, because when you die yourself, you will be powerless. You don't know where they will carry you. So it was yesterday, and today, let's go to happy. But the speaker, he's sounding like he's somehow on. Yes, his voice.
The man looking already. The man afraid. He know what's up.
Look, let me play the video, maybe for those of you who just come in, and so that you can follow. But it's really interesting. For me, in fact, it was listening to me. I was like, no, I've been based over. He said, maybe just listen. So
To the press, this section is not legal yet. Any we come for here with you. This section is not legal to get quorum. We are not video recording talking. You're carrying for your prior. We put it your money. This section must be legal. But quorum, they told together record and start talking. No, get your. Don't believe it. To the press, this section is not legal yet. Any we come for here with you. This section is not legal to get quorum. We are not video recording talking. You're carrying for your prior. We put it your money. This section must be legal. But quorum, they told together record and start.
So the session should be legal. The monk always saying that the session will only be session when you have the
simple majority. That's a constitutional.
simple when you have the numbers. So monk, what are you sensing? Are you sensing that the speaker maybe the quote unquote there's leakages because we don't want to just make them clear to our people? There's any leakages along the way or what? What are you sensing?
You know that speakership job is a very complicated job. You got different people with different agenda in the House and in the Senate. They got caucuses, and these caucuses, they are like small packet of things. I call it small rebel group. They can assemble and bring up something against you, right? So if the speaker is struggling with quorum, then it means even in his own caucus, there is a fraction there. It's broken, that he doesn't have control over all the people he claimed or believed to have control over. And that's where the problem can come from. And sometimes when you want to push a particular law or you want to put certain things in place, when you don't have that number, you got to cross the eye and go and talk to other people. And it becomes difficult, especially when they are planning against you. So like I said, I would say 10,000 times, it's just a matter of time before this speaker be his own fate. That's what we said. Yet, it was not unconstitutional. You play the political maneuvering to become a speaker, but just know that in the long run, you will become a victim of your own game. And we are getting there gradually. I don't want to make too much big deal of it because it's a one event, but I know in the future we will start seeing it happening, and there will be someone that will be putting a coalition together and putting other caucuses together to go against that speaker. Just a matter of time. I can bet on that, neighbor. It will happen. Trust me.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, but Ali, quickly, are you sensing any leakages or leakage somewhere that maybe there's any news, something that you are predicting?
Or maybe this man, he called himself a regime speaker, which of course everybody know that in as much as the Unity Party is in power, they need a Unity Party speaker. And there are leakages going on, and there are some disagreement And as I said, you can see some frustration in his voice. This issue about there's too much concession, too much bills thing are coming up, and he is a regime speaker, and he had to do everything to please the president. And some of those people that even say elected him, they are not in favor of some of those bills, some of those concessions. There are so many things going on the ground, and this is why you have started seeing him talking about this is not a legal session yet because he can get quorum. There are so many things going on, and we get more to hear in the next coming days, more especially with all the that Orato deal 1.2 billion and all those concessions they're talking about. And when the president get interested in some of these things, the speaker had to go in line with the president. And now those same people that brought him over there, some of them they don't want to agree with some of these things. So there are some underground tension, but we wait to see. We're watching the game and control his expectation and control his emotions to start speaking so loosely and too soon. Yes, but more to come. We're watching the process. According to
Well,
me, let's watch the
mhm.
process.
Good. More another thing, because there are so many things that we've been hearing behind the scene. Like, for example, unconfirmed reports that indeed Thomas Fala may likely take over. Thomas Fala may likely become speaker, even though there were battle against Thomas Fala that in fact they wanted to remove him. And Thomas Fala quietly maybe survived that battle. And he's now, because they want to make it look like, okay, yes, so we'll have the president coming from Lofa. Can we now have a speaker also coming from Lofa? Mom, is that because it's like the government will now want to make it look like, okay, let's have a speaker also coming from Lofa, because this speaker is like, in fact, the Liberian people do not really have the interest in him. In fact, he's not behaving like a leader. In fact, he's not really seen as a speaker. Mom, what say you before transition? Because this is alarming, though.
The thing about speakership, like I always say on the show, is not a function of your title. It's about your skill set. It's about your ability to negotiate. It's ability to put people around, rally people around on common causes. But in the case of Liberia, it's all about who can put people on committee and money and stealing and kickbacks and how much the speaker's office receives. So it's all about wealth accumulation in Liberia. But I don't know what there will be any kind of a rivalry between Thomas Fala and the sitting speaker, because the last time I checked, he was a Unity Party partisan. So I guess he doing the president's bidding. I don't know what kind of benefit it will give Thomas Fala. Thomas Fala has been there for a very long time, one of the longest serving lawmakers in the country. He's from Lofa County also, but he's a former citizen too. So don't get that twisted. So I don't know which one of them is more loyal to the president, but I don't know why would you want to engage in something like that when the guy who's there already is going to the beat, dancing to the beat of the president and the Unity Party. But we know that politics, maybe they might be on the same team, but with different agenda. Who knows? That politics, you cannot trust anyone, maybe. So for Thomas Fala, don't forget, Thomas Fala is deputy speaker. He's just one step away from the speakership. So I don't think it's far-fetched, but I don't see the need politically, because it would just bring more internal division and rival in Unity Party. So I don't see why it's there to benefit, except Thomas Fala is coming with his own motive and he got his own agenda. So, but like I said, it's not impossible.
Well, thank you, Mark. And quickly before we transition, let me say this, because this can be happening in the corridor. In fact, there are a lot of confirmed reports, news, and so forth that the current speaker, in fact, he lacked the leadership. You know, this country of ours, sometimes we just think about changing people. Like Mom will always say, it's not just about changing people, but who are you changing these people with? That don't matter. So when you change somebody today, then at the end of the day, you see your life.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, you well, and it's indeed regrettable, because yesterday we removed from the Kofa. But today, do we even have a speaker that we all, as Liberian or gaming, both up today? More, the speaker look quiet. You don't even see that leadership ability even in him. But again, well, it's our speaker, and people will say, yes, indeed, you won the majority vote. The more always say you have the quorum, so you have to go ahead. But more, that move ahead with the bread and butter issue with our people, with all of the things. In fact, yesterday started that, even though because of the time we're not able to really go more into that. But I think we'll have lots of time, so we can use this time today to talk about that, and also with the latest about the $200 million that will be placed into the budget. I know they say the senator fees, And so,
Yeah.
so what happened if you don't have any document to sign anymore? What going to happen? That means, just remember, whatever more go ahead, what will be happening with
Well,
Moruba requesting for 500
yeah,
Liberian
$500.
dollars.
But that's a very good starting point because at least if you cannot negotiate on that, then you can start to like 350 or 400. That's how you go into negotiation. You raise the bar high, and then because you know you got to compromise. I don't know if that will happen because the government is not going to create a fiscal space of 300 to 400 million. He just don't know what he's doing because Clarence Maluba model is like I say, it's what we've been talking in the show. You got to cut down the size of government. For the government to be effective, you got to get rid of the waste and the useless spending. That's all you do. Because when you cut down waste and spending, the money left in the pocket will be reinvested in the economy. That's how the ordinary people can benefit. That's how people's salary can increase. But you cannot keep spending money. That's why he said the government is too big to succeed. We got 105 ministry agencies and commissions. Why would you want that in a country of only 5 million people? You can cut that into half and have a well-functioning government that will save the taxpayer more than 300 million. Can you imagine if we save 300 million every year and pull it back to the economy? What will happen in 5 years? It will be $1.5 billion back into the economy for small businesses, for infrastructure, giving market women loan. There will be a lot of things and people will benefit. So why do you keep spending on the government itself when you could reinvest that money to things that will bring benefit and grow the government revenue base? Because like I said, the only thing government does is they create conditions where more people will pay taxes because that's how government can make money. Government make money when more people are paying taxes. But when you put more people out of the workforce, then the government is making money. You know, that's why you keep eating the money, because when you got more people, business people, market women, regular entrepreneurs, they all paying taxes, that's how government make more money. So Clarence Manuba was right. There is now a new idea. Like I said, we talk about it on SKTV all the time. They are bread and butter issues. They are simple. And Melbourne, let me tell you something about the thing they get something they call the quality of work, right? They get something they call return on your investment. Melbourne, when you hire someone to work with you and you pay them decent wages, it can motivate them to even go beyond the call of duty because they are satisfied with what you are paying them. So think about a policeman or nurse or firefighter in Liberia, teachers. You're paying them 120, 125, 150. If you increase their pay to 400 or 350 bucks, do you know what you're talking about? Some of them will go home and become our creative and new idea how to even improve the system because they are well paid. When people are well paid, they want to do more because they want to justify why you are giving them that money for. It's just part of human psychology. But when you don't pay people, they lose interest, they go to school, no energy. Somebody got to go teach to 3-4 different schools. They are tired, exhausted. They just there just for the money. But as I pray for you, I don't think the rescue mission is thinking that direction because I know Joseph Boaga doesn't have the idea, like I said, to create 300 to 400 million dollars in the budget for reinvestment in the economy. That will not happen. So Clarence Maluba, maybe the day you become president, I can count that you will be able to do that. Not Joseph Boaga. He's not even thinking in that direction anyway. So
Wow, that's good, Mark. But Ali, what say you with all of the happening, Clarence Maluba and that of the 1.2 billion dollar budget, and with the issue of salaries still low, is still the least. I don't know. Someone will say, "Oh yeah, maybe even though we're in Nigeria, people all Liberia always looking for way to back their wrongdoing with other countries." But you just listen to your colleague, Mark. What say you before we play this video quickly coming from Front Page Africa 2 minutes ago, Mark? And in fact, we're going to play that. Is in fact they said that Joseph Yema Boakai administration historic $1.2 billion national budget may already be facing a major threat from within. That's the latest coming from Front Page Africa, and I just queued that already. But Brother Ali, what say you quickly before we play the video? Ali?
I think Ali walked away from his phone.
Good. So let me see. Okay, good. So let me play the video quickly. This is the latest coming from Front Page Africa 2 minutes ago.
Historic $1.2 billion national budget, the first in the country's history, may already be on shaky ground. And the threat, according to insiders, is coming from inside the Boakai's administration. Sources at the Ministry of Finance say the budget's foundation rests heavily on the proposed ArcelorMittal Liberia dispersion, expected to generate over $200 million in signature bonuses and fees. The AML expansion is essential for sustaining the billion-dollar budget, but now officials see a small but influential group aligned with Ivanhoe, HPX is resisting the AML agreement, a move that could jeopardize the country's revenue, investment agenda, and fiscal stability. Insiders warn this internal split threatens to push Liberia into budget uncertainty. Experts caution that blocking the AML expansion could hit development programs, payroll, and service delivery, and damage Liberia's standing with international partners like the IMF. With competing money interests pulling from within, the coming weeks may determine whether the administration can protect the revenues it needs and safeguard Liberia's first ever billion-dollar milestone. Gerald Kwanyene, Front Page Africa. Thanks for watching. Every story you see is the
Well, Mark, I think he just knew everything. He just talk about everything. In fact, Mark, it's like, I don't know what he can be predicting ahead of what will be happening. Because for me, by the time you were talking, you were already talking about the Front Page Africa just posted that, and again, they alike that yes, indeed, a minute ago that they just talk about exact or what if I what we've been talking about forever so long. So Mark, with this latest, where are we heading to? Because even though the journalist or the news reporter will say, they will we want to use all kinds of jargons. But Mark, in the simplest form, where are we heading to?
The simplest form is very simple. That's what we want on Sktv. We don't want this $200 million making part of the budget argument that for the first time in history, because all they care about. United Party is all about politics. They don't use logic. That's why I keep telling you, they don't know how to govern. They only know how to play politics. Yeah, politics will work in the short term, but in the long term, it will come back to haunt you. There is a difference between stable revenue government can collect, because you can make projections. That's what our budget is. You keep projecting in the future how much you think you will be able to come up with based on what you did in the past, right? You don't want to use a windfall. Or windfall, like I said the last time, it get like a one-night stand. Maybe you married to your wife. Let's just assume, I'm not trying to be naughty, I'm just saying if you had like us, a girlfriend, and you went to an occasion, they say, Mabel, where's your partner? Who are you going to carry? Your wife that is reliable, or the girl you just met yesterday that you don't know nothing about? That's what United Party keep doing here. You don't use a one-night stand to put it to a budget. If it come, okay, that extra incentive because it's a one-time signature bonus. Because we don't want to say we will project 1.2 billion in 2026. Then you telling me we'll be $900 million in 2027. No, we want to be making progress. We don't want to be degenerating, right? Because that's just why it is. You're making more projection now that will reduce over time. It does not make sense. No, we want for the budget to increase incrementally over time. Every year we should get better, or being close to getting better. We don't want to go one step in front and take two steps backward. That's what's happening now. Within the rescue mission, or on the rescue train, they got two separate groups. They got one group that is pushing the interest of this, or HPX, Ivanhoe, or Liberia, and you got ArcelorMittal. ArcelorMittal want to lock down another 25 years, right? So they are the one offering this, but people are saying no. If we make this into a competition, we can make more money. There was one guy, some anonymous writer that wrote some editorial page in the, I think it was Liberian Observer. He said, I think he used some of the talking point from Amara Kone, that we could make 3 times more than what we can expect to make from ArcelorMittal if we make it into a competition, right? That we can get extra incentive, like the calculation. He's saying one of the clusters in that Yekepa and Buchanan range, we could get $1.65 per ton and $2.05. So it means we will, within the same 25-year period, Liberia will be able to generate $14.8 billion and $18.4 billion. So yeah, the ArcelorMittal won monopoly because they believe there is a potential for them to make more money. But other people are saying no. We want to bring other players with a multi-user railroad thing where other people can come and compete, and maybe we can get way more money than what is being offered. So the question is, which interest are we going to follow? Because United Party biggest fear that if they cannot get that 200 million, we will experience an immediate budget shortfall. And they are looking at the political aspect for them to say, oh, for the first time in Liberia, United Party brought 1.2 billion, but only for the deal to fail, you know the political implication. And not only that, The second argument is it will be problem with the international partners, especially with the IMF, because they can look at our fiscal responsibility, they measure the budget before they can even be able to give assistance in the national budget. So when you tell them, say you get 1.2 billion, only for you to come and say, oh, I got 800 million. You almost like telling somebody, say, oh, I get $12. Then after tomorrow you come and say, I only got $9. That's a problem from an international standpoint. It's bad PR, it's bad for the government politically. So we will see whether United Party, because when you got two opposing groups, that's what asked me. I said, when I saw that thing, I was like, okay, can you make the case that why Wilmer Pay is in trouble today? Is Wilmer Pay pushing for this multi-user and bringing about competition rather than just going with a accelerometer that want a monopoly and another 25 years guarantee to make more money? So the question we see here is, I mean, the way actually is United Party going to put the interest of Liberian forward by bringing competition and making way more money in the long term? Or they will play politics as usual, just to score political point and then force the country into losing lots of money that will be on the table left for the Liberian taxpayer? That's where the question is, because they say influential group. So technically, on the rescue train, they got two groups and they all serve the same purpose. The only difference is they are supporting different players. One group supporting playing quarterback for accelerometer, and the other group is playing quarterback for the HPX. So we'll see what becomes of the outcome. But I can tell you they will always play politics, because if United Party fail to bring the 200 million sign-up bonus, they know it will not be easy for them in Liberia. They will already getting ready for election in the future. It will be a bad PR for them, both domestically and internationally. So that's where we are.
Thank you, Mark. Actually, I think you said everything. But are you there? I don't know whether you stayed said already or you are having some difficulty. But Ali, if you ready, then go ahead. Yes.
Yes, like we say about this $1.2 billion budget, the issue about the budget is not the problem, because we were looking at this government to undo the salary harmonization that was carried on by the previous administration. But it is quite unfortunate that now the government has raised the budget to 1.2 billion and nothing there for civil servants. And it's like everything in the budget just for them. And now we don't want to see the budget going down. 2026, you get $1.2 billion budget. 2027 or 2028, then the budget start to come down. You already fighting when you get $800 million budget, you having budget short for them. Why about 1.2 billion? So we still waiting to see. Like the issue yesterday, we're talking about what they got, the former labor minister. These are some of the reasons that led to him for the president to dismiss him today, because there are so many things happening and he came out, he spoke. So people know what is happening down the line and what is happening behind closed door. Because they multi-system about the railroad business, people have to be careful. I always say this about this government: you have to be careful. You don't play game with America. You can't you make commitment on anything and then you want to go in the back and do something else. Play your game, but don't play with those people here. They don't joke. So the whole budget we wait to see. But this government, Mr. Kumi talk about raising Liberia budget to 1 billion when he become president, and Unity Party has rushed to increase the budget now to 1.2 billion. But again, what is there for the people? And this is what we want to see. So for me, we still waiting, let the lawmaker be talking on it, and then let's see at the end of the day, let it do all their work they're supposed to do, recasting or whatsoever, and then let's see. I just want to make sure that the least people in Liberia should benefit from this budget, more especially someone who going to work every day. You pay them $150 and they pay their own way to go to work every day. You can't even provide buses for them. You see, this is not good.
Yeah, we will come to that, but Ali, because that will be our into the entire discussion, because that has to do with a very important issue. But I move back. What say you with the threat? Because mind you, though, if maybe like for example, talk about maybe there'll be budget shortfall, there'll be so many things, because sometimes you will come out with the kind of anxiety to tell your people that this thing will happen years from now, or maybe time from now, this thing will happen. But at the end of the day, if you're not able to manage these things, or maybe to do what you promise your people. Sometimes you may find yourself into another thing. So what's it with the latest news coming from Front Page Africa that indeed there are so many things that are going to happen if care is not taken with the $200 million signature fees and so forth. But what say you? That's what we want to know. Then we transition to the bread and butter, to the budget, as to what's going to happen with the civil servants and how can the civil servants, they are not talking. I will ask you people all of the question. But I move. What say you?
The signature fee, my man, that's one of the things where some people pushing for the budget and some people they don't want to come front because everything like where it's about signature fee. But just as Front Page Africa has reported, and we know we are going to see what will happen in the next coming days on this budget issue on the signature fee. Because most of the time, Front Page Africa, when they come out with these stories at the end of the day, it come to light. So that is just it. It shouldn't be surprised for what Front Page Africa is saying.
Maybe the good thing about this whole thing is infighting. It almost like they get something they call wealth, they get something they call riches. When you rich, it means you got a huge sum of money, right? But the one they call wealth. Wealth is something that the white man in America, he look at it in the long term, right? If I want to be rich or if I want to be wealthy, I should be able to keep getting money. Even my children should come and get that same money, so they build long term. When you get the money in the long term, that's what we call wealth building, right? You do something one time and you keep getting paid year after year, month after month. That's just why it is. If you see the 200 million, the other people are arguing that we could make more money. These people want our iron ore. Iron ore is in hard demand. It's the only thing the country depends on. So what you want to do? You want to increase the national budget over the long term so we can keep getting extra money. We can make 3 times more than what is being offered now. Or you can take just one lump sum, lock in 25 years, and the country become the victim. So we'll see, like I said, why they will put the national interest over greed. Because if somebody giving me $200 million right now, but for 25 years, and somebody say, technically, if over 25 years, you'll be giving me, I would say, anywhere between, let me just do a basic math here. Let me just say something, baby. Hold on one second here. Let's just say 200. You're talking about $8 million, right? But why if I told you, maybe I could give you 24 because you can make 3 times more than what is being offered. 8 times 3 will give you 24. I could give you $24 million every year, but I will give it to you for the next 25 years. Which one you would take? That's what they call instant and delayed gratification. I'm giving you a large sum of money, but I only one time and I will pay less. Or I could give you the money over 25-year period and give you 3 times than what you're supposed to expect today. That's exactly the argument that is being made. That you're getting $8 million per year, technically, in sign-on bonuses for $200 million because it's over 25 years. The only difference is they want to pay you one time. So you think that big money, but guess what? When you receive that big money, you are screwed up for the next 25 years. And the other people can say, okay, yeah, I can give you $24 million per year, but I will give it to you for the next 25 years. Every year over the next 25 years, I can give you $24 million. Which one you will accept? So you see that? If you delay the payment,
Indeed, Monk. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or if you want to be greedy, you will just have a one-time meal and that's
one-time blow. Yes, indeed, one-time blow. But if you want to protect your name, you want to protect your society, you want. In fact, Monk, that also boils down to the kind of my agreement, something that we signed, like for example, 25 years, 15 years, 20 years more before we go transition. And let me say this to our team that we're getting a report that due to technical issues, our news team, they are saying that we should continue with the show on today. So we will be here up to 8 o'clock, but usually at 7:30, we'll activate the line so that we can be part, or those of you who are also following this broadcast, so that you too, you can have a say on this show this evening. But more, quickly before we go back to the bread and butter issues, with all of these things that are planning Moruba and that the rest of the people, but the lawmakers, even though they are more concerned about what they can get, because I know whether we like it or not, that budget will be passed. But let's go back to what you were saying, Mom. So that means, in short, you are saying that we should be able to choose the right thing that will better our lives instead of taking, because mind you, Mark, you're saying that because we have quick impact projects and we have, long lasting projects. So which one should we take? Mark?
Maybe in life, when you want to do better, right? In anything that you do in life, you always think long term. The long term perspective is always the best way to go, right? We are talking about state resources, we are talking about future generation, we're talking about 25 years deal. I'm not here to bash Accelerometer. I don't know all the details in this agreement, but I'm not even a fan of signing in this modern day and age to be signing contract 25 years. Why not do it at least 5 to 10 years? Where every time you can review a contract and you can extend it, because maybe the world is constantly changing. Why would you want to lock in a deal when you cannot project what will happen 25 years from now? What happens if the price of iron ore triple in the next 10 years? How do you go and ratify a deal when you already lock in 25? So if I were then, I would sign 5 to 10 years deal with the possibility of reviewing the contract every 10 years, because I cannot predict what will happen in the world 20 years from now. There could be more infrastructure projects that will be going on around the world, and iron ore price can jump from $104 to $312. So if that happens, then it put me in a better position to go and renegotiate and make more money. I don't want to be signing 25 years. Maybe 25 years is almost 1/4 of a century. Who does that? Some 5 to 10 year contract. Every time we renew the deal, so that when something changes, Liberians cannot be the victim or we cannot be left on the hook, right? That's just why it is. And why not take more money over the long period of time rather than going with a one night stand? That's where it is. That's what we call short-term pain for long-term gain. Okay, yes. If we take a long-term deal, it might impact the budget negatively, but in the long run, we will still tend to benefit and we can make more money from this deal than just signing one big contract that will get us locked in, that may end up being, we could be on the short end of the deal in the future because we cannot project what will happen in the future. I don't know what will happen 3 years from now. So talk about 25 years, maybe. Why will you be thinking 25 years when you cannot predict? Because it's business. When they lock in that deal, it's locked 25 years. So who knows, like I said, things could happen. Why if America want to embark on a massive infrastructure project where the demand for iron ore will be, look at like gold now almost like $3,500 when a couple of years ago it was less than $1,500. Anything can happen. So you don't want to sign these long-term agreements that will end up hurting the country in the long run. So if you are really interested in the future generation, want to do the right thing, if you want to love Liberia and build Liberia, then you will do things that will benefit Liberia in the long run. You won't be rushing to take some signature or sign-off fee that will end up hurting the country in the long run. I don't know, but that's just where we are, my brother. I'm not the one in the executive mansion that Joseph Baga there. Yeah.
And that makes sense. But Brother Ali, what say you? With that quickly before we go back to the bread and butter issues with the long-term process and because mind you, though, most of our politicians, especially our government or our governance systems, they always like the short term, even though they will take it long, but because they are into the short-term period, so they always want to take it long, but they're into short term. But myself, I'm a bit confused. Why would someone want to be having 6 years or maybe 4 years? For example, now we have this government, they have 4 more years to go, but they'll be signing 25 years agreements. I don't get it.
Maybe on the same thing with the APN terminal deal. You see, a good one of government can, just as Mon said, you sign something in 4 to 5 years. Why if tomorrow the iron ore, the price increase, you already signed up 25 years. So the 4 to 5 years, when you know you're there for 6 years, all your contract then should be 6 years. You see, the same thing with APN terminal. You see the contract they signed with APN terminal. During George Weah administration, they say, oh, that metal, oh, that CTN, these are things that made the food expensive. When we can't, we undo them. Today, we still get metal and CTN. And I expected President Bouaka now to undo the APN terminal deal. They were in charge, no way. And like I said this morning, the whole time of Accelerometer, President Bouaka said he was a race car parking in the garage. So we expect him to go through some of those concession agreements to see how best they can put it in the interest of the Liberian people. But giving those people another 25 years, then when the next government comes, there is nothing they can do about it. They cannot undo it. You see, even they will say, oh yeah, we're coming to revisit all the concession, but the 25 years still stands. And to say you're coming to do any changes there, that one, it is quite impossible. So this long contract they giving to people, all because of kickback. That's why you see this thing happening. It's not just for nothing. Because of getting kickback, that's why they go into this long concession agreement with those companies. At the end of the day, they strangulate the country. any other government can, there is nothing you can do. And this is why our country will keep borrowing, 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 and borrowing. You see, so that just it that.
Wonderful. So now let's go back to the civil servants, Brother Aliu and Brother Monk, and to our Liberian people. I don't know how come the civil servant, even though they are being, someone would say they are being used all of the time. In fact, they are being abused, but they're a little bit quiet. Let's start from the issues of being quiet before going to do some of the recommendations that we've been doing every time for government and talking for them. How can the civil servant, they are quiet? Let me begin with you, Mark. Why are they not speaking out? What happened?
Because they have accepted a lot, or psychologically they have accepted their compensation. They think that it's normal. That's what they've been used to. Like I keep telling you, when you put light into a dark room, don't expect the person in the dark room for too long to see you that you are about to rescue them. They think it's okay. They think that they are living at the mercy of the government, and when they give them, because they will tell you, oh, nothing out there to do, it better to come to work. So mentally, they are accepted that particular compensation package. They think that it's okay for them. So we are on the radio, we'll be doing all the talking, we can be making all the recommendations, whether it's presidential candidate, we talk about bread and butter issue. No, for them, it doesn't bother them, because in their mind, deep in their mind, they believe what they are receiving is okay, even though it cannot even sustain them for the rest of the month. But they will stay accept it, because the fear here is, if we end up losing this, there will be nothing out there for us to get. So that's what we call the Stockholm syndrome. They are stuck with it, and there is nothing that they can do about it. So whether it's the chairmanability, whether it's the Cummings of the world, the Simeon Freeman, they talk about the bread and butter issue. No, people don't gravitate to this thing because they're not thinking that direction. Like what I keep saying, the people with ideas in Liberia are not closer to power. The one with our ideas are always the one that are in power. That's why we cannot make progress. Because when you listen to this guy, and that's why you can listen to during campaign season. When you go to a campaign season, you don't go there to see your candidate. You want to hear his vision, his plan, his idea. And if he's capable of executing those ideas, because anyone can make promises on the campaign trail. The question is, are you having the ability to execute when you become a president? But in Liberia, no. Like already travel land, the one who been in government for long, the one who get, or how they call it, who from certain region in the country. So we end up losing on the better candidate, because the kind of idea that we want to hear. Look at Amelia Simon Freeman. We're talking about we should put upward of $75 million for agriculture, because it will create jobs. It will put a lot of people to work, and will bring about food security. But yet, a man who serves as agriculture minister, he does not even understand how the agriculture bank work and how to empower local farmers. So, what can you say, Mabel? The people with the idea that want to do the right thing, they don't. Our people, our voters don't look at them. The ones with no ideas are always at the front of the line. They are the ones sitting at the table. And like I said, if you're not in the position of power, you cannot impact policy. So whether Cummings, whether chairmanability, whether Simeon Freeman, they can talk all they want to talk. They are not in the position of power to impact the policy of the government to see the kind of a change that we want. You got to win. That's why you must win first. And you need the party people know how to win. That's why they are in control.
Yes, that's the fact. But for me, I'm a bit concerned about, because the direct and the feature of all of these salaries issues that we keep talking about, because where in this world they'll be making less than $100, some of them they made $90, they made $7,000, and they're quiet, they're acting like all is well. Is there any threat more? Let me just ask you the follow-up question and we'll go back to Brother Ali. Is there any threat maybe being the same, like, oh, okay, if you talk, we want to do this to you? But is there any tension at their back? Something's happening behind the same wall? Are you sensing anything of such?
I don't think anyone putting pressure on them. They are just thinking that way because of the fear. They believe that there are no jobs. There is nothing out there they can do. So they have, like I said, they have accepted that particular compensation package mentally, not only physically, but mentally. So I don't see in the ministry people telling them, say, oh, if you go and or make the case for higher salary, will come after you. No, but in their mind, they already accepted it, so they won't push for that because of that fear factor. That's what happened, baby, when you have been in a bondage, economic bondage for a long time. You don't want to take any kind of a risk. It's one of the many reasons that people don't gravitate toward protest. They're thinking about, okay, I must go sell today to eat tomorrow, right? That's the kind of a level we have reached in our country, that people are just basically getting by. They're just scrapping to get by. So then men believe that the wrong things are happening in the country, but if I go out there to protest, if it leads to some instability wherein the country will be shut down for 2 weeks, how do I eat? Or how can I come up with funds to pay my children's school fee? How can I find food? How can I afford transportation? So when you talk about protest, yeah, they won't talk about that fear factor. I stay there. They won't take that risk because of the living condition in the country. And the politicians understand that. That's why they say, you know what? If we keep making them poor enough, they become mental slaves. And we can keep them in bondage for the longest because they won't resist us. They know why it's out there for them. They know the implications. So let's just keep making them poorer and poorer by the day.
But more quickly, these are people that were also seen yesterday with the regime speaker. I think we have some of the videos in our file that they were jubilating yesterday. I don't know what if you can say recall.
Yeah. Some of them were there jubilating, they thought they won. That's why I say for me, the way how I calculate an election is not about who won the election, like bro. It's just about the result we get. If you can get better result, then you can say you have won the election because your life will change. You can see progress being made in the country. But if we keep changing one president after another, only to keep getting worse by the day, then how can you say that you won an election? No, you only put few criminals in power to get rich at your expense. That's all I can say because nothing happening for you. Like we said, the budget is not Sktv saying it. Everyone around the world, every financial expert, budget analyst out there say, no, you the voter, you are the biggest loser because there was nothing in it for you as compared to the few people. Even Clarence Madiba made a statement. I mean, when he was talking about the issue of the bread and butter issue, he made the same thing that you are the biggest loser because when you look at the budget, when you look at the way how the budget is distributed, what can you boast of the common man in this budget? Can you say your life will get better or things will improve? No, you are the loser, except for the few. The top of the top, the 1%, the lawmakers, the president, the people in the executive, the one who will go and refurbish buses and come and sell to you for 4 million, 6 million, even though those buses will be breaking down right before your very own eyes. They just repackage and rebrand and come and steal from you and make more money and get rich overnight. While you there, you are struggling every day. The hospital, they give you $1 per year for hospital bill, technically, based on the various healthcare facility in all the county when they do the budget breakdown. Can you imagine somebody giving $1 US for a whole year for medical treatment? How can you say that is a win for you? So they are in it. You stuck with it. Maybe are you there?
Yes. Well, wow, Mark. Actually, but Ali, quickly, I'll come back to Mark. But what say you with all of these things that the direct beneficiary of all of these things? Now keep talking about the civil servants, their salaries. Because mind you, though, even people who are even fighting drugs, some of them are making allegedly they are making $90, and sometimes people see this thing as an insult. But again, they are happy. They cheer these politicians. They even sometimes they celebrate them. Like when the monk just stated, when the regime speaker won the battle against former Speaker Kofa, there were a lot of jubilations at the Capitol building. What say you, Abalali?
Yeah, or maybe just like Monk said, this is all about fear in those people. Yes, it's all about fear because first of all, you protest, they cannot even say help you, no job in the country, and as a 7-7, you already there getting your 150, and you will be like, let me just hold on to this and just forget about it. And this is why you will always see how long 6 more years, how long 6 more years. And then you be there, people continue to use you. They promise you when they can't fulfill their promise, and you say, how long 6 more years we change them. Like I said, I'm very frustrated for our country budget to go to 1.2 billion. And 7-7 who were there yesterday, you harmonize my salary, I will harmonize your vote, and it's still nothing to benefit. But as you said, during the speakership election, when they were trying to remove the former speaker, these were the same people that were there. They were supporting everything. What have they benefited from the budget? Nothing. You see, the whole budget is just going to benefit Joseph Boakai and his surrogates and all the law because government officials, they are the one who going to enjoy the 1.2 billion. So those people, because of fear, there is nothing they can do because when they see you out there protesting, this is a government that doesn't have regard for rule of law, and they can fire you for no reason tomorrow. They will add mark people, and then at the end of the day, they will just say, "Oh yeah, you did this," and they fire you. No guarantee in in government job in abroad. That's why I say these are cosmetic jobs that people have, and they want to be passing around, causing law, insulting people. Because tomorrow different governments say come the same thing, then they're ready to kick you out of power, out of job until you have become jobless. So when you're doing this cosmetic job, you call job, just remain quiet and do what you're doing. So because of fear, there is nothing they can do. They will have to live with it and be praying for another 6 years. My brother, those people, the way they plan their life, that how they are going to live with it. Nothing else.
Let me give you an example, right? The
Right.
reason you accept a wage, or let's just say, let me just give you a typical example. Like in this country, I don't like to compare this country with Liberia in any way, shape, or form, but any other country that are doing better economically. The reason you gave people before you can determine somebody pay civil servant salary, you gotta look at the cost of living, you gotta look at their daily expense, you gotta look at something they call adjustment for inflation before you can even determine how much somebody take home a day, right? Or pay monthly. In this day and age, who in Liberia will sit in a red frame of mind and believe you can pay a LDA officer or policeman 125 for a month? Who even thought about that? Or who can come up with this idea? Are you telling me a government or president cannot even through an executive order, even without the support of Congress or lawmaker, to say, you know what, this thing does not even make sense? And maybe another way to look at it, okay, you can say, like what Clarence Moluba is suggesting, or any other political leader out there, why not reduce the government workforce and this wasteful spending so we get more money? Because remember, let's say you are Truth FM over there and you're 10 in the studio, right? And the studio, maybe 5 individuals can run that studio effectively, but you're 10 there, right? And they decide to pay 125 or 150 per month. I could let 5% to go. I could cut down the operating expense, and the remaining 5 that I will keep, I can get in $300. Because the whole idea is your paycheck should be able to sustain you and your family over the period of a month. That's what wages are for, right? That's why you go to work for. That's why you leave your bed and your family. Every morning you get a motorbike or keke and go to work. So the people who think that when they leave their job, the war is coming to an end, no, your salary is not enough to sustain you. It's even worse because you are not making progress and you are living below your earning potential. So in that case, it might look like a bad thing to do, but I believe going for higher wages and limiting the size of the government so people can make decent wages, because at the end of the day, it will still help the same economy. When you give people decent wages, what they will do, they will spend more. And when they spend more, businesses will travel in the country, even though some people will be affected. But what is the essence of working and not getting the benefit and working and making more money? Which one you would take? The people who will remain in government, let them get paid more. That's just what it is. So either way, it's still a win for the country. Because if you shrink the government size, you save more money, you get rid of useless and wasteful spending, then the people who you'll be paying, you'll be giving them good money every month to sustain them. They don't have to worry about paying
Mark, even to that, let me just add up to you, because the government choose to pay her workforce or the civil servants $90, $100 or below 150. Because of that, most of the companies that also come, they take the same trend. That's why you see today the level of poverty continue to increase. Because if you look what you just stated, this I think that some people will get me be saying, be the same, that no need to even employ 50%, maybe at one entity, that will just waste of time. Because even if you do, sometimes the kind of result you want, you will not even get it. Like for example, if maybe tomorrow, in fact, we'll even look at some of the entities that's what we cut down. Like for example, because most of the people when they go to work, they just go play Lulu and go check out.
Yeah, and check out. Yeah, because nothing doing that. They ain't supposed to be in the first place. Because our ministry as well have 300 employees, there are 600 there. You are just duplicating the same tax and spending more money, but it adding no benefit to the ministry. It adding no benefit to the country. Because remember, the reason that's why you got assessment. People go and make an assessment. Oh, we got a ministry, we got a department. We only need 10 people here with few computers to run this whole department. Why would you want to hire 25? It's a waste. We don't have job for them. 10 people can effectively run the department. Why would you want to hire 20? Cut that 20 up, get 10 people getting decent wages, let them do the job. They will be more effective, they will be more efficient because what? They are getting decent pay, and you will get better output than bringing people and only paying them only to get the worst result. You are not adding value to the whole government operation. You are just spending
almost the same thing, even with the lawmakers.
Oh, yes.
Times in, times out. Even maybe I'm even getting reports or maybe unconfirmed information that maybe will make the current lawmakers, maybe 229, they may be allowed. So tell me, what the rationale, what the sense of even adding more lawmakers Maybe because of the quote unquote will say, oh yeah, you know, the threshold talk about maybe 50,000 people into one district, so we got to share so many districts into 2, 3 more. Are you kidding? So you imagine what we're into. So the more the population grow, the more lawmakers you have, the more waste money you spend. But like you just said, in fact, you said something very, very sound, that the same political will that the president used to even make the lawmakers and other government officials to have the kind of huge salaries, what they can use that same mentor for our civil servants to say, okay, my people, the civil servants, they've been suffering. Moving forward, the least will be 350. The least.
Yeah, the least 350.
That means the janitor in that office will make 350. Tell me, if that janitor made 350 more, for God's sake, you think that janitor will waste it from someone and tell and say, oh, I don't come and sweep you, please give me cafe.
No. He will be able to budget for his transportation. He can carry him for the month. He can manage it.
That bringing the hardship, because whenever your expenditure is more than your income, then you are living in poverty, because at least your income should be higher than your expenditure. But how will you be working and then your expenditure is more than your income? These are some of the reasons, and the reason why they don't want to increase civil service salary. These are some of the things again, because those people who they go city play Lulu everything. So it is better you cut it down and then get maybe about 50 or 20% that will do the work, instead of having a bunch of people that are going to sit that play Lulu, play Zuma game every whole day and then come back home. So that's a waste of money. So just cut them down so that they can be able to do the work efficiently, that will be able to bring progress to the nation, instead of keeping people just because to say, oh yes, I'm working for government, I'm a civil servant. It makes no sense. So there are more to do in that country, or else every day we just become here. But the problem is for the law.
And that's why sometimes some of these civil servants, some of them they work for 10, 15 years more, even when they are, or quote unquote, what they call, I don't know, retirement. Oh yeah, but no, when we continue to tell these people.
I saw, and thanks for bringing that topic. I saw a police guy that said that banned the food for loan, that work with so many departments. The police, the phone is broken. And I think on the job, he got injured and he's crying for help. And I think it was on Yega Kaluba page, something, one light-skinned police officer that said he's working. Multiple, he been the force for a very long time. And he was going against some criminals and they beat him and they broke his legs. And he's crying for help. So maybe just for that, it could be another way of giving him some publicity on this particular platform, and people need to be compensated or helped at least by the government in terms of insurance, because when you get police officer and law enforcement, especially the one that are on the streets every day, they are at risk. They are at hard risk. Anything can happen to them. We see policemen and city police being assaulted live on camera, on Facebook Live. Some of them drag on the hood of cars. So anything can happen. Why are they not getting the help that they need? With all the money that you guys generating, with all the millions of dollars, and a policeman will be home incapacitated, he cannot do the job, and then the little medical treatment he's struggling to fend for himself when he wasn't even making enough to take himself every month. I mean, in terms of his feeding and his transportation, thinking about adding medical expense to that. Yeah, you can find that online. When you go to that Yeke Koluba page, you will see it. He wrote some little stuff about him. Yeah, right there.
Yes, I saw it. So I don't really know why the insurance that they are giving those guys, that he will be like that, and then the government cannot take care of him. You see, so what I can understand people working and then
Mark, let me just say to you and that brother Ali, I know this guy very well. Been in the jet, you see. God, sometimes Mark, when I saw the guy or conditions, I think about the light that some of us who are active, now. Just to think, well, why are we treating each other in the form? Mark, this guy was very active. In fact, I think he's a gospel musician. In fact, he used to send me some of his songs. They got very energetic, hardworking, very, very respectful. Even though for some of us we don't have that kind of close contact with police officers like that, then now they have the army. Because for me, I have a lot of family members, brothers and sisters in the military. Then now the police. But that guy is one person who always listen. Sometimes he will even chat with me. Oh yeah, maybe I have my project. So when I saw this, even though it's been around, we've been talking, but this thing been for a little time, Mark. And I don't know. Is what happened. He was on duty and this happened to him. And up to now, the only thing that Gregory Coleman and that of the rest of the police officers or the Liberia National Police care about is only how to do video or footages, post, and so forth. But to even think about this fellow, this guy, until the internet or the media to talk about it kind of thing, more. Now, it just open up about some of these things about our society, how terrible our society is, how this the society of ours, the people, they only do pick and choose, they only take few people who are politicians and give them the resources and forget about the majority of the people. That's just one example. I know him good. I know Brother Williams, DC, I know him very well. But again,
but remember, it take you back to why I keep telling you that the way the government operates in Liberia and the way the structure is almost like money laundering, right? It take us back to the budget. You talking about national security budget because I know police officers, their compensation, whether you get insurance for them or not, the people that put their lives on the front line to make sure the society operate in a peaceful manner. How can you have a budget of 151 million and police officers are struggling to pay their medical bill? And you cannot increase their salary. So then where the 151 million going to? Because I think when you say national security, police compensation, their salary, fighting drugs, these are the people that should be making the most money in the country. If you put that kind of a budget in national security, the least police officer should be making at least $600 US per month. Because that would justify, right? So where are the money going? For national security. Isn't the national security issue? And there's a policeman that
so
got
most of the money, let me tell you, most of the money, they place it into the EPS account, they place it into the NSA account, and they're getting monies out. Brother. Well, oh God.
And no police officer will come and talk about it. They will act like they didn't see it.
I beg you. They will talk. They won't talk.
No.
They will always talk behind the scene. That's why I ask the questions as to how can civil servants, they are not talking. Because and these are police officers that are there, for example, when the citizens even want to stand up for their own right, these same police officers, you see, they want to, they will go and even beat on the citizens.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what kind of confidence is this?
Everybody confused, right? It doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't add up. Yeah, the same people that have been ill-treated by their own government, even though they got more budget, they got a bigger portion of the budget. 151 million for national security, yet your salary cannot increase, your benefit cannot increase. There is nothing in place that when you get injured or you go through disability in the line of duty, there is nothing there for you. So then where does money keep going and who's benefiting? Why all the police officers in Liberia, not only the police, whether you are immigration, whether you are NSA, whether you are the DEA, why are you guys not making noise and maybe leading a protest? But I bet you, if there was a protest,
why are they not talking?
Yeah.
Why?
And everyone out there, they are just one step away from this guy condition because it's possible they could get injured too. We just saw LD officer that was beaten to death in I think it was in Conway, if I'm not mistaken, the guy who was overpowered by those drugs, those logos. I don't like to use that word, but I mean that's what I can come to mind for now. Yeah.
Yeah, that got killed that time, right?
That got killed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
And more,
Liberia story happened.
Liberia problem is just compound complex. And I see the direct people who are veterans, they pretend like all is well. And these are people, Monk, let me free go. Look, some of us will say this thing no matter how you tell me, no matter how you want to feel, but the same police officer, you will see them beating on civilians, you will see them beating on citizens. I don't even, sometimes I don't understand. So you think that like maybe the politicians, they are doing everything possible maybe to cajole you or what? I don't know, because Mom, so now go back. When you even read the story, according to the story, you will hear that Inspector Williams this year has become a heartbreaking reminder of how easily a man who served his country can be forgotten in Allah. Even my own uncle died today. In fact, he served the military. How much they were paying every time? He died. 2011. Oh God. Look, sometimes I don't even know how to put it, but So that Inspector Say was once known as one of the most active officers in OPS 3, OPS 4, OPS 5, and OPS 9. Just imagine this man at this level.
Yeah, so he more experienced.
But today, the man spend all the little money that he was saving when you go to the store. And the what can happen more when you're sick, even if you go to the hospital, the government will tell you that spend your own money. In fact, we will.
Spend your own money with him, brother, but they can't even pay you wages for you. They even be able to keep $1 per month. How you gonna spend your own money, baby? You must first save to be able to spend money. Especially that one of the reasons you got to talk about wages, because when you are making decent wages, you will put little things aside, like what we call rainy day funds. They're unexpected, they're unpredictable. You could go to work, you could end up getting injured, disability, death, sicknesses. Okay, yeah. But if you're not even compensating the man for him to even take care of his transportation in the month, how can he save money to treat himself before you reimburse him? Where are you going to take the money from? Are you going to take on loan like the government that got more money but still taking on loan from international partners?
Yeah, but I didn't know anything before I go to the land, man.
Yeah, Ali, you've been quiet today. What's going on?
Well, I'm a little bit busy. That's why.
All right. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. So
I think about our people then. That would turn the conversation over to them.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. So let's move to our people and interact with them. Those of you who are listening that have been following us, the number is already there. Are you sure? Nothing has changed when you thought they get vest, but to admit, nothing has changed. Like we are just the same. Hello to this caller, good evening, David King.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor. Let me say, good evening from my end here.
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys are talking about the budget. You talk about security for that salary to be increased. Look, if you want any other security salary to be increased, for me, I would love for the military budget to be increased. The immigration budget should also be increased, and that of the National Fire Service. Because these are people who getting lower wages. Like the police every day they gotta get money. But the police station, when you go there, if somebody offend you, and then you go to the police, maybe to get police officers to go and arrest that person, you pay arresting fee. All right, that is constant. You have to pay that.
So David King. The reason why these things are happening also based on low salaries, incentives, benefits, and so forth, logistics, and so on.
Yes, even you talk about low salary, right? But those guys, they are corrupt. If you get $500 to one police officer, and maybe to be the lead, to give $400 to the patrol officer, that guy will take care on that same thing like he's doing when you are taking $120. So the guys, they are just corrupt like the officials. So you can't say the policemen are money careful like in the street every day and studying money from drivers and studying money from pedestrians. You have the salary. For me, I would left for the army, the Liberia National Army Fire Service, and that of the immigration officer salary to be omitted. But that those guys, the police don't talk about that. Those guys every day they're studying money every day.
All right, thank you. Keep the calls coming. 0770203125. That's the number for you to call this evening to be part of the Sktv show. Yes, indeed, I talk about all the issues. To this caller, good evening.
Yeah, Miss Moore, how you doing there?
My brother was great. Thank God for life.
Praise God. So thank you for your everyday talk. The police want everybody's salary to be increased. That's why you were saying when the police salary increase, I think look at it after will be proud to stop some of those things. When you see police were begging on the street, if police make good money, you're still big. You're not big to be beggar to Kaga Rada, the motorcycle, the checkpoint. So we are praying, we're advocating for everybody's salary to be increased.
But why are they not talking? That's the question. How long will you want to remain silent?
I don't know. Most of the people that can help me is about the army. Army put in the country live on. Tomorrow our prayer is army put to rescue us from the kind of life that we are living in this country live on. So we need slave to our own economy. Huh? There's a party coming on board again telling us that they want to have another representative in local country, one in inner country. They wanted that we got already a creating problem for us. Taking all the money in the country, then you want to add that other thing. Where are we? So the country will only be for those that are in power, lawmakers and other people.
Well,
we don't let it know, but we thank you people for your every day. So we'll be talking until one day so we change our living conditions. Thank you for your show.
thank you, my dear callers, and those of you who always follow us. Keep a calls coming 077-020-3125. Father, here for you. What say you with the budget, with the issue of low salaries, police officers, immigration officers, even the army? They go through a lot. Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Yes, let me good evening to you. Good evening to your team of panelists. This is Hussein. My name is Hussein Kewo. I call from around Jacobstown. So I call to respond to the question that was asked, what have changed? In our life, I would say a whole lot have changed. A few of them is the LEC has been.
So, hello, without me asking any question to that, what have changed? So, yeah, so we've been discussing.
A rescue mission or propaganda. We not even the topic. Maybe one guy made that statement, but that's not the topic.
My man, we're not talking about that one, but don't come give people headache. Today's caller, good evening. Yeah, man.
How are you, Lego?
Yeah, my brother, good evening.
Everybody, country is just corrupt. The entire country is just corrupt. The entire government is corrupt. If we talk about the past government, I'm not talking about Taylor, I'm not talking about anything that is happening. That war on board. Yet they still should corrupt this country. I'm just going back to our history on the
Yeah, I think you have to stay away from monitor a little bit because the fever is really giving us a tough time. Yeah.
So we have to move back to our game. Because the late someone was trying to put the position of us. Who said to take it to be bad. Now we are feeling away. This country, when they talk about LPA, like brought before, your father working, say you don't know like you're working.
Exactly, my brother.
Your mom working, you don't know that you're working. Because as long as you say, oh, that is the fish of spoiling the whole, so it's the more of putting us out.
I said,
and every open a prison for you. When they say, my man, school time coming, say, my man, I go to school. Your money higher, pay your tuition, say you don't know. But now I left out going Friday will cry.
In fact, they even giving our children citation every day. In fact, our emotionally, our children, they even understand as to whether we pay their fees or we don't pay their fees. My brother. Yeah.
Can you imagine, me, me, I'm not going to say this country how far we're going away. It's just that because for some of us, we keep on honor you people as your children and parents took off from the childhood down to our days. But if you say, if we can just jump in the street for riot, but what's going on for us for today in this country, Labrador today, I never expected Labrador to be there this way. Yes. I saw things, I live, I see people, I see life. Today, can you imagine when they can go and pull up bill for themselves, they get that for the citizen. When they pull up bill, when they take a loan, they get for 50,000 one man. Then what are you talking about? Government employee. You can mean 150 that they say paying it, they don't want more. If they get a minute, they put it more. Then you represent it, say 50,000, 100,000, and money will come directly to you.
My brother, that is, so we're going to speak out to all of these things. Thank you so much, my dear brother. Move on to another caller. Yeah, today's caller, good evening. It's not easy though, but you don't know everything. Tears even rolling down from my eyes. Hello, today's caller. Wait, somebody over on the line. Hello. Okay, keep your calls coming. Sorry, there was someone that I just cut off because it's just frustrating. that even the parent now they'll be saying like, "I'm not pay yet." All these things, they're just trauma by itself. Hello, today's caller. Good evening. Yeah, good evening. This is Mabel Johnson. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Hello. Well, today's caller. Good evening. Hello. Yes, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for this discussion. Once again, we didn't are you getting me?
Yes, my brother, you're live.
Okay, maybe one thing for me, I don't like for people to use statement to mislead me or to mislead the public. The whole thing about budget increment for the maybe I think I look at it as a statement to mislead people. Remember, we're in a war, so we let the same minister help budget increase. Minister of Education budget increase for people buying their food here. People buying vegetable food. Look at the other schools. Look at some of the schools around the country. So does that show that budget increase of Minister of Education? So the budget increase for few people benefit the office, or if when the budget increase is that will make positive impact in the life of school going children in all the countries. When yes, the Minister of Health budget increase, but if I some of the hospitals, some hospitals, there's no drugs. So what's the essence of increasing budget? So it's like it's a made up phenomenon to mislead the public. The next one will be what happened for what is not connected to.
All right.
Then say, oh, so the budget is free. But look at the unit for your country. So they buy their own unit for what is the budget for what is money back. So the same member is saying mislead people, not correct.
All right, thank you. Let me go to Brother Louis. Louis, you're one of the person who are in fact Liberians, and Liberia depend on a lot. What say you with all of the happening years in, years out?
Johnson, Masale, we have broken the culture of sounding nonsense, and we have to keep it in that form and faction. We have to keep speaking for our people. Never, you might be shocked. The four highest paid parliament in Africa. It's Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, and Liberia. I was shocked to see my country underdeveloped, but has one of the highest paid parliament. 300 gasoline, monthly.
Generator up to now, we still paying for generator.
So it's unfortunate. And we are starting with time. It's just like you, myself, Mayborn, the rest of us, into advocacy and activism, we can't give up. But Mayborn has been like this. It's unfortunate. In the country, you find the politician are more popular than the engineers and the doctors, the lawyers, the security personnel. In the country, you find politicians that are far popular than no technocrats. My country is going nowhere. It's absolutely good.
So then, Louis, let me ask you this question: how come? Because most of these salaries are being increased by the officials or lawmakers, they are all made by quote unquote the arrangement of the executive and now the first branch of government. But how come they are not able to also,
Let me just say something very important to you. When the budget pass, if I'm anger and I will lobby it around, our anger would be directed at the legislature. I listen to Honorable Musability, I listen to Honorable Snow. The budget, the draft is before them. The draft, the legislature give them the most powerful tool, appropriation. That draft is before them. They has a right to put 30, to put 40, to pay 50, to put 200 on 7. The draft is before them. I just tell me anymore. I just looking at them. I agree the executive said a budget with no increment. I hear talking about I'm an engineer and this, that, they do tons of. I listen to Gafwan. The CDC took 86 million, 3 months to pay 7. They have to give 20 hammer or 30 hammer to the central bank. The vice government take, I agree with what I want. That's beautiful for them. If the draft that is before the legislature, and I listen to Mr. Ability, I want to ask you a question. It's before them. I hear it loudly. I listen to them in the afternoon. If they cannot do any adjustment, because that's just a draft, then the executive can have it off. That we got to stop dating off. And then they say they will hold Blacker and hold the executive responsible and the appropriate part, and they are only thing they're stepping it up. we see some increment. I see addressing debt, domestic debt. That's beautiful. But you cannot have, like more say, 1.2 billion, and then the police, the nurses, the doctor, the teachers, and the security personnel, and then no good, substantial amount to stop it up. So when the budget to go to trillion before people get money, if I reach the trillion first, billion for your first time. We can't see any adjustment. Maybe I'm telling you, if that budget pass, and this is almost snow with Clarence Jackson, if that budget pass, I want to see a fight between the legislature and the executive. That will put $100 on the civil servant, on the ordinary, the janitor, the drivers, the secretary for zero. I want to see that rift between the legislature and the executive fighting on civil servant increment. Send it back, you send it back. Let the budget be delayed. We use 1/12 to pay, but let there be a fight over the budget as it relates to impacting the greater life of the Liberian people.
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you,
Luis. I think we'll join you in that endeavor, and we will be raising the alarm. We'll start building the momentum already. We're watching them too as well to see.
Seriously, we're watching. Oh yeah, mom. We're watching, and in fact, if any other maybe problem, maybe situation coming from the executive, let us know. We want to know as who is the problem. If the problem coming from the executive, tell us. Maybe the Sktv people, it is the executive that's stopping this. Then we'll understand. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
How you doing?
Yes, my brother, we are okay. Thank God for life. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. This is Liba City Keys. I'm going to start on the call for Morrissey Farm. We discuss serious matter in this school that will benefit the Liberian people. But then, who see how that going to say the comment here discussing about they're going to better. The budget is fun. But then improve the life of the security sector. Can you discuss the energy sector? Let me if you can make discuss the disco, please I beg you. Nobody says your pocket is you well or not you well. There are not people justify things. Leave the general the balance the rules and discuss like an issue. The one I was so proud, but our table that was now. Anything stable to your house, or the people that you know what to, or in some extent, everything. We can come in and free prayer, but they're not poor table. Look at school at the open. The people say the poor table out for school fee.
Our children are the one that bringing attention to our very homes. Do you know why it means preparing to go home? You know, even take pay, then your child brings attention that, oh yeah, you got to pay maybe second quarter, or you got to pay later. Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Those of you, the motorcyclists, I know how you feel because the tension, even coming from the police, these things, they have all frustration coming from government. Then they wage the same frustration on the other citizens who are also struggling. Look, this thing that we are saying today, they're not joke. Some of you don't even know us. You will see us into these various situations. Some of you, sometimes we see all of these things more. But anyway, let's take a few calls and come back to all.
Let's take 2 more calls so we can discuss in dialogue. Get 10 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go to the chat.
Yeah, let me say thank you. You see, Melbourne, what we are experiencing in this country is like the slave master and the slave relationship. The slave master will not want to let the slave go because he's making maximum use of the slave. So in that kind of case, only the slave themselves can take authority into their hand to free themselves. No slave master want to let you go free. Either you work for your freedom or either you revolt for your freedom. The no slave master officer will say, man, I'm sorry for you go now. You must work and pay for your freedom. So that's I told you, maybe on slavery never entered Liberia. They were only shipped to Liberia. That's why, and today our slave master are the political leaders. We are the slaves. So we who are the slaves, maybe if we do not take authority in our hand to free ourselves, you didn't go never free. You don't never go free, maybe. That's a slave master and slave relationship. The network, the other more want to continue. So if the Liberian people cannot take authority in their hand, but take a positive radical stand, maybe I told you we'll talk about the next 2,000 years, it will just be the same.
But Charlie, quick, let me ask you the question. How come some of the people who are also, in fact, who are directly or maybe quote unquote that bent, that bent into some of these things, and they're not talking, and they probably.
When you go into slavery and you are not experiencing freedom, you feel that slavery is a normal way of life because that's the only thing. Let me tell you what God told Adam: when you eat this tree, you will die. Adam never knew what was death, so he thought I was joke.
Well, thank you.
You are not tasting freedom, so you don't know why freedom, so you enjoy it. It's a normal way of life.
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you. So yeah, even people are making 100, they are proud. People are making 75, they are happy. And we are not getting more. So what the people?
That what the brother just told you, that when you have never experienced freedom, you cannot tell. That what happened in Liberia. Our system have been damaged for so long that people cannot even identify success. So when you talk about success, when you talk about high standard, it sounds like a foreign language to them because they haven't experienced it. Like some of our senior brother, like I keep saying, I would say maybe the people that know themselves in the 70s and up to the 80s of the late 80s, just before the war, they were the best generation of Liberian because they saw the better part of the country. They can relate to that. They grew born after 1990 and upward. There is nothing you can explain than that because they were born into a situation where, okay, why are they making a comparison with? If you tell a man, say, oh, the country was once better, and in his life, you have never seen anything better, how can he translate your statement? It's become a very difficult thing to do. And I will disagree with my brother David King today. David King, when we talk about these things, it's not about eradicating, we're talking about mitigating it to reduce it, right? When you pay civil servants decent wages, we're talking about it boosts their morale, people start giving them more respect, they won't be seen on the street as beggars. We are not saying they won't take bribe, but it will be reduced significantly. If a policeman is making sufficient wages or sufficient amount of money to take in over the course of the month, I don't think he will be hinking on the who or people can't get begging for something to take home. I don't think he will get into that. But that's just why it is. And the reason we keep saying this thing, like I said, the budget justify. I'm not talking about other sectors in the government. I'm talking about mostly law enforcement. The budget, there were 151 million because when you hear the amount in the overall budget, you think like bro going buy military equipment to go attack Nigeria or Ghana. But it's only about salary and goods and services. So you're telling me civil servants in terms of police officers and law enforcement, they are not being paid. And here's the argument. They are at higher rates than anyone in the country because as the crime increases, it means they are the one on the front line. They will be attacked first. The LDA officer, the policeman, the immigration man, the city police, they are the one that will be at risk because they are the one providing security and protection firsthand for everyone in the country. So it means as the crime rate increases, they will be on the front line and it will be a higher rate. So how can they have the biggest budget in the government and yet the salary cannot increase? How can you explain that? It makes no goddamn sense. And these people, maybe the reason they can always talk about civil servants and giving them decent wages, right? One time I was telling my papa, Konoyan said, normal day in the early 80s, the average immigration officer was making $250 per month. I'm talking about in 1980, 1981, 82 money, right? Now, if you go back and just do a little calculation in the term value of money, right? $250 in 1980, number is will be worth today, $982. So you are telling me 35, 40 years ago, police officer and immigration officer were making more money than in today's value. Can you imagine that? So instead of making progress, it means we have degenerated for the past 35 to 40 years. We've been going backward because it seems like the 1980 money or the 1980 people are making more money than the current law enforcement officer. And these people, like I said, the reason we call them, they are into public health, they are into public safety, they are the one that give us the foundation of any society. The policemen, the army men, the firefighter, the nurses, the doctor, these are people that we add in society will not function. So why you cannot pay them wages that will be able to sustain them at least on a monthly basis? So, Derek King, it's not about just the money. We're talking about the dignity, the respect, the job that they do, the level, the high risks that they must encounter every day. That's what we are talking about. And then the citizens themselves will start respecting these people because they will have no reason to go and denigrate themselves in the streets every day just to get by. That's the argument we are making here. And people talk about LPA. Yeah, but when you look, the government full of joke. I listened to the guy from the civil service talking about he trying to digitize the LPA system. My brother, the LPA system was based on the same wages. Before a government, when you talk to people from the 80s and people who knew about the LPA system, it was based on their wages before even the Lebanese men were able to credit them goods and services. You even making money to pay your own car pay, who will give you LPA if your salary is not enough to even carry to the end of the month. Does that even make sense? And you're talking about digitizing the LPA, so they got to bring it back. How do you bring it back? You must first increase wages, then the business people will get a guarantee that we can borrow money or we can borrow services or goods to people who have government jobs. You can't even raise salary talking about LPA. How LPA will work in today's environment?
But Monk, what's the sense even into someone making 150? For example, you got to take out taxes, you got to take out everything, even the person with transportation, they're feeding everything, they got to remove all of this. Then you're telling them that before they should go and take, maybe for example, television, smart or TV that costs maybe 400 or 500.
Yeah, if you had a store in Labrador and the police making you talk about you want to take LPA, where are you going to get LPA from? What they guarantee? You look at your paycheck, you look at me. Why we are? Because at least the people who are making a late $250 per month in the 80s, let's say Beck or at $28, right? It makes sense. You can get him goods, maybe you can get him oil and other things that will come out to like $50 or $100. But you talking about your whole salary less than buck in the head, and you want to go do LPA. Who's will borrow you or who's will credit you on goods or services on LPA? It's not going to work, man. You have to play from our people, man. It's not our, it can't be politics all the time.
Yeah, so that's it, Mark. We got to go. We have a few more minutes to go and to go watch our game. So, folks, let me see. I think Brother Mohammed Dollar on the WhatsApp line. Try calling quickly. 1 minute. Hello, Mr. Dollar. Good evening.
I just call to wish your team the best.
Thank you.
That Mandre man is not screwing that Mandre people. They will all support Chelsea.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chief. Thank you,
Mr. Dollar.
Even though more calling you Mandre man, I don't know why you Mandre man.
That Mandre, that man is Mandre people. They will always support Chelsea.
I'll see, yeah. Mandre people are back. Thank you, sir. All of them Mandre people are like you. Yeah, thank you. Mark. Yeah, man. So we gotta go, my dear brother. But actually, on a verse, you are no more. That's why you see sometimes when people work for 10 years, I see people, all the time you spend in government, why you achieve? The people that are getting rich in government are all these people that have been elected, appointed by the president. These are people that make the real money. But apart from it, any other person you see for that matter, maybe they're stealing. Let me tell you. And that's why more you see with the issue of stealing. Yeah, man. What kind of country they will live in? Yeah, because people are not happy with the kind of salary that they are making so much. They got to do all kind of crooked things, even Ministry of Transport. That's when you see the kind of more the system just continue to go ahead and scatter because someone somewhere want to get something just to add up to the salary. Mark?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Before we go, because we have roughly about 1 more minute to go. Maybe 30 seconds.
Well, we don't have that much to say. It was a nice show, but Luis brought up a very important point. You know, we are always at the top for the wrong reason, right? And you look at our country, right? We have 54 independent African countries, right? And Liberia in the top 4 when it comes to lawmakers' compensation. Can you imagine that? When it comes to lawmakers' pay, we are among the top 4, even though we have one of the mediocre size or GDP and the government budget, right? But we are in the top 4. Why it tells you, out of 54, Liberia ranking with South Africa and Nigeria and Kenya for higher pay for lawmakers. How does that translate? And you look at it, regular people, when it comes to poverty, it comes to hunger, everything, we are in the bottom, except when it comes to compensation for public officials. The people at the top, we are in the top 4. Maybe think about that. Out of 54 countries on the continent, we make the top 4 in terms of compensation. Let the average policeman or firefighter and nurse think about that out there today. That Liberia is in the top 4 for lawmakers. Good night, go. See you guys.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mark. Good night to all of our people. Thanks to Mr. Liability, the dynamic CEO of the great institution. Thanks to Sekou Kane, the CEO of Sktv. Thanks to all of you, our viewers, listeners, and followers. People, we'll see you on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. Those of you who are sport lover, indeed, go out there and enjoy yourself. Watch the game, please. Allow other people who are sport lover to to be able to watch their games or maybe any of the game that they want to watch. You know, don't take people away from what they love. Good night. We see you on tomorrow. By God grace, tomorrow we'll be here with another topic or maybe something to talk about. Good night. I'm John C. Mayborn.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us the end of parents from there. The welcome and life with African.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make you again Sktv-Lib. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And yes, I know money. The more I know, and you love me. The more I know,
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I delay ya to money, and I sadia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I quadruple ya to money, and I delay ya to money, and I sadia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I quadruple ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise my best. To work with my life with Africa. From Grandpa's and Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Backbolu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.